Okay, this story comes to us by Michael Arsenault at The Root. So, last Friday, Donald Trump used his side gig, Republican nominee for president, to go back to what he's actually qualified for real estate and hawk his new hotel. A few Medal of Honor recipients allowed themselves to be extras in his 2-for-1 infomercial, and one of them used the opportunity to address Hillary Clinton's critique about a certain faction of Trump supporters. Quote, deplorables are also deployables, the Vietnam veteran quipped. He did so with the widest smile on his face, just to let you know that he was pleased with himself. Ever since Clinton uttered the phrase basket of deplorables, Trump's most ardent supporters have tried to offer addenda to the claim that they are hardworking Americans, they have families, and in this case, they have served their country. Fair enough. But you can be all those things and still either be a racist or at the very least willing to support someone who is, which ultimately proves that when you get down to it, you're not that committed to a belief in equality for all. It is to be expected of them, but there's also a noticeable contingent of others who have tried to take greater issue over charges of racism than racism itself. This would include Democratic Senator Heidi Heitkamp, who said of Clinton's comment in a radio interview Thursday, quote, I think it was a wrong thing to say. I think that it ignores the very true concerns that we have about needing change in this country. I think that it was ill-advised. As well as Green Party president candidate Jill Stein, who instead of joining Clinton in a shared contempt of bigotry, tried to argue a double standard. Meanwhile, she too stepped right past criticism of the fact that her running mate referred to President Barack Obama as an Uncle Tom. And of course, white people in media who felt compelled to explain racism as if they actually have to face it. At Vox, Dara Lynn wrote, there's a satisfying moral clarity in being able to out and out call people deplorable for their racist views, but there simply isn't a bright line between racist and not racist. There are quiet biases and degrees of awareness that even people who don't support Donald Trump, even hardworking Americans, need to be aware of. And there is more to racism than what lies within people's hearts. At New York Magazine, Jesse Signal argued, quote, but there's a difference between people's subjective experiences and the terms we set for the big ongoing national conversation about racism and for social justice. Within that conversation, viewing people who hold racist views as irredeemable and describing their beliefs in terms of moral taint just isn't the best way forward. Funny enough, when citing his relatives who may hold racist views, Single quickly blocked anyone, specifically those of darker hues, who challenged him on this notion. Yes, this is exactly how racial harmony is achieved. In any event, Business Insider's Josh Barro echoed similar sentiments, tweeting, I think if we're going to reasonably define racism quite broadly, then we have to think of it as a bad personal trait, not a horrible one. If most people are racist and most people are not horrible, then many racists are not horrible. What? This clown. So, this isn't about trying to floss moral clarity. It's calling a thing a thing. Laziness is a bad personality trait. Racism is a much more defining quality, one that speaks to your central core, no matter the volume of your prejudice is set at. People are dying because of racism, and there are white people trying to talk about racism in the context of it being poor manners, to not think highly of those with the ugliest thoughts. Instead of arguing for others to see racists more fully, that time would better be spent in making the racist people in your life less of a boil on the butt of basic human decency. The fact that anyone who doesn't have to grapple with racism would condescend and play pedant with those who do speaks to benefits of being white. It also says as much about racists as it does them. I totally agree. Come on, you can't define racism. White people are always trying to define racism that they have never gone through. Unbelievable. It's sad. It's sad, but I get it because there's going to always be that contingent that tries to minimize what we go through, and when they have the voice, when they have the platform, when they have the media backing, then that's going to get across. And then you're going to have those who say, well, it isn't that bad. Yeah, well. Yeah, right. try seeing your sons and daughters killed on a daily and see if it isn't that bad. So my name is Yurima Karama. If you'd like to get more information, news updates, please subscribe to @yourblackworld.net. My name is Yurima Karama at Your Black World News.